Hello, welcome. Welcome to the course Certification of Organic Production and Geographical Indication. The lecture of today deals with precisely EU regulation for organic production, which is the regulation 834 of 2007. This is the title of the lecture. We have spoken about standards, regulations previously, but in difference with other lectures, this lecture will be focused and we analyze in more details this regulation. We'll explain different principles of this regulation, articles, and mainly the practical issues then that we have to consider when practicing organic agriculture methods. Okay, this is the list of the sections, questions that we speak about. These questions are not similar to other lectures because it is in fact the regulation, so it is focused in the different parts, articles, titles, chapters of the regulation 834 of 2007. This regulation has 7 titles and 42 articles. The first title is Aim, Scope and Definitions, and it has 2 articles. The title 2 is Objectives and Principles of Organic Production, which includes Article 3 till Article 7. The third title is General Production Rules, which comprise the Article 8 till to Article 22. The title 4 deals with labeling. It has articles from 23 till 26. The title 5 is Controls, which has article 27 till 30. The title 6 is about trade with third countries, which includes article 32 till 33. And the title 7 is Final and Transitional Rules, which includes article 34 till 42. In this part, we'll speak about Title 1 and Title 2 of Regulation 834 of 2007. Before speaking or before going to the articles of these titles, I would like to mention some important principles of organic production. For example, the organic production methods care about soil fertility. So the soil fertility is the main focus of organic production. The creation of biodiversity is important. Exclusion of chemical pesticides and fertilizers is another important principle of organic production. use of adapted and resistant plant varieties, organic fertilizers, and pesticides. In organic agriculture, um, in order to control or to reduce problems with plant protection, it is suggested to have selection, a very careful selection of the species and varieties that will be used in organic agriculture. In organic agriculture, there is good attention to animal welfare. There is an absolute prohibition of GMOs. However, we cannot avoid sometimes the contamination, gene contamination, and so by law, by regulation, the inorganic agriculture or inorganic production can be allowed contamination of or less or than 0.9%. Organic agriculture, because of need to have resistant and adapted species and varieties, in fact, do valorization of local productions. It defines the right moment of harvesting. It is important. And another principle is preservation, packaging, and distribution are done under specific rules. So now we will speak about EU Organic Regulation 834 of 2007 for the Title 1, which has aim or which deals with aim, scope, and definitions. Let's start with Article 1, which is its title is Aim and Scope. Aim and scope of organic regulation. This regulation establishes common objectives and principles concerning all stages of production, preparation, and distribution for organic products and their control. And B, the use of indications referring to organic production in labeling and advertising. It applies to products originating from agriculture, including aquaculture, when such products are placed on the market or are intended to be placed on the market with a name or with a labeling or advertising as organic production or as products produced with organic methods. What are included then? What kind of products will be included in the organic or covered by this regulation? Live or unprocessed agriculture products. Processed agriculture products for use as food, feed for animals, vegetative propagating material and seeds for cultivation. And this regulation shall also apply to yeast used as food or feed. I have to remind here that products of hunting and fishing of wild animals are not considered as organic according to this regulation. Dealing still with Article 1, aim and scope, a regulation applies to any operator involved in activities at any stage of production, preparation, and distribution relating to the products mentioned previously. It not applies to mass catering operation. They will not be subject to this regulation. Member states can apply national rules or, in the absence of national rules, private standards on labeling and control of products originating from mass catering operations when rules comply with community law. So this is the situation. So this regulation do not prohibit that probably any member state can decide to certify um, even the mass catering and restaurants. But this regulation, the EU regulation, do not apply to this. Now let's go to the Article 2, which deals with definitions. For sure, I will not give all the definitions. You have the chance, you can download the regulation and can consult them. I want just to mention here that some important definitions that are presented in this part, in this article, are: what is organic production? What does it mean, operator? What is plant production, livestock production, conversion? What does it mean according to this regulation, preparation? What is labeling? What the labeling is covering? Control body, and so on. Let's speak about organic agriculture definition. Organic production is an overall system of farm management and food production that combines best environmental practices, a high level of biodiversity, the preservation of natural resources, the application of high animal welfare standards, and production method in line with the preference of certain consumers for products produced using natural substances and processes. The organic production method thus plays a dual societal role where it on the one hand provides for specific market responding to a consumer demand for organic products, and on the other hand delivers public goods contributing to the protection of the environment and animal welfare, as well as to rural development. Stages of production, preparation, and distribution means any stage from and including the primary production of an organic product up to and including its storage, processing, transport, sale, or supply to the final consumer, and where relevant, labeling, advertising, import, export, and subcontracting activities. So we have to understand well what it is included in stages of production, preparation, and distribution according to this regulation. Preparation means the operation of preserving and or processing of organic products, including slaughter and cutting for livestock products, and also packaging, labeling, and or alterations meant to the labeling concerning the organic production method. Control authority. What is control authority? Control authority means a public administrative organization of a member state to which the competent authority has conferred, in whole or in part, its competence for the inspection and certification in the field of organic production in accordance with the provisions set out under these regulations. It shall also include, where appropriate, the corresponding authority of a third country or the corresponding authority operating in a third country. Control body means an independent private third party carrying out inspection and certification in the field of organic production in accordance with the provisions set out under this regulation. It shall also include, where appropriate, the corresponding body of a third country or the corresponding body operating in a third country. So try to understand well the difference between control authority and control body. Conversion. Conversion is one of the definitions included in the Title 1, Article 2 of this regulation. Conversion means the transition from non-organic to organic farming within a given period of time, during which the provisions concerning the organic production have been applied. What does it mean? It means that there is a period called conversion period, which is a period that the farm convert to organic. So uh, from the first moment that the farm declares that it is applying uh, is applying provisions concerning organic, they start to enter in the conversion period, but they are not still organic. So there is a period then from the start of conversion till the moment the farm or the company will be called organic, which is the period of conversion. So the period of conversion, in fact, we will see in other parts, it is precise, or I mean is defined, depend on the conditions. But here, just to understand, what does it mean, the conversion period or conversion? The other definition is about operator. Operator in organic regulation 834 of 2007 means the natural or legal persons responsible for ensuring that the requirements of this regulation are met within the organic business under their control. Let's go to the labeling. The labeling is another definition given in this article. Labeling means any terms, words, particulars, trademarks, brand name, pictorial matter, or symbol relating to and placed on any packaging, document, notice, label, board, ring, or color accompanying or referring to a product. So everything that have information on organic status of the product. Advertising means any representation to the public by any means other than a label that is intended or is likely to influence and shape attitude of consumers, beliefs, and behaviors in order to promote directly or indirectly the sale of organic products. Mass catering operations means the preparation of organic products in restaurants, hospitals, canteens, and other similar food business at the point of sale or delivery to the final consumer. So, with the second article, the first title was concluded. So, the first title was dealing with aim, the scope of organic production, and with important definitions. I mentioned previously some important definitions, and now let's speak about Title 2, which is titled Objectives and Principles for Organic Production. And here is the chapter 1, starting with Article 3. And the Article 3 is objective. The objective is to establish a sustainable management system for agriculture that respects nature's systems and cycles and sustains and enhances health of soil, water, plants, animals, and the balance between them. contributes to a high level of biological diversity, makes a responsible use of energy and natural resources, respects animal welfare, aim at producing high quality products, aim at production of food meeting consumers' demand. The Article 4 is overall principles. So the title of Article 4 is overall principles. Which are these principles? Appropriate management of biological processes, regards restriction of use of external inputs. So there is a discrimination of external inputs compared to internal inputs are um, more advisable the internal inputs and would be excellent if it is everything a closed cycle. Another principle is rigorous limitation of use of chemicals. Because why I say limitation of use of chemicals? Because in the principle of organic agriculture, in fact, there are not allowed synthetical chemicals. But however, there are some expectation predicted in this regulation. That's why uh, we say that there is a rigorous limitation of use of chemicals and not um, not excluded at all. Adoption of rules of organic production taking into account sanitary status, regional differences in climate and local conditions, and specific husbandry practices. Article 5 is titled Specific Farming Principles. We already uh, have spoken when I have spoken about principle of organic agriculture, I have mentioned it. But here is important to to present what the articles, what each of the articles deals with. So in this article, one of the principles is the soil care, and so the other principles are, for example, minimize the use of non-renewable resources, recycling of waste and byproducts of farm. So the farms produce when they harvest a lot of byproducts, which is advisable. Uh, and this is one of the important principles of organic agriculture to recycle them. And as I mentioned previously, ideally will be that if the farm will do recycling and will create a closed cycle within it and will not need to take from outside, for example, inputs to use the farm. Another principle is an organic farm and organic producer has to take account the ecological balance to to take preventive measures for maintenance of animal and plant health. So it is important to be mostly, and the focus is to the preventive measures. And in special situations, uh, can be focused to the treatment. But even in these cases, we'll see in the other articles when the animals will be treated in order to protect their health, then the regulation has predicted how to react then. For example, there is in case we will use treatments that are not, um, let's say, included in the principles of organic agriculture, then the regulation has predicted a special period of suspension of the use of labeling or every advertisement related to the organic production. Uh, Another principle is specific livestock feeding. In aquaculture is maintenance of biodiversity and proper feeding. The Article 6 has deals or has the title Specific Principles on Processing of Organic Food. According to this article, the production of processed organic food shall be based on the following specific principles. The first, the production of organic food from organic agriculture ingredients, except where an ingredient is not available on the market in organic form. The other is the restriction of the use of food additives of non-organic ingredients with mainly technological and sensory functions and of micronutrients and processing aids. The other principle is the exclusion of substances and processing methods that might be misleading regarding the true nature of the product. Here, always regarding the organic. So, a principle is to exclude all the substances and processing methods that might mislead the consumers uh, to um, to understand that if this product respects the principle of organic production or not. Another principle is the processing of food with care, preferably with the use of biological, mechanical, and physical methods. Article 7, specific principles on processing of organic feed. Now, speaking about feed that is animal food. The production of processed organic feed shall be based on the following specific principles. Production from organic ingredients, materials, the restriction of the use of food feed additives, exclusion of certain misleading substances and processing methods, care in the processing of food and feed. Like in other lectures, in every end of each part of the lecture, you have here my name, my affiliation, and the email address that you could write if you want to communicate with me.